Hey everyone. Okay, so this is a video for the hairstyles for practice and presentation. They may vary slightly. It also depends on your hair type or what works best for you or what you feel most comfortable with. But this is how the chongos are supposed to go. What you'll need are a few things. So, oh, first, uh, a spray bottle with water. This is the only thing I have, so my other one is at home. There are two types of hairbrushes that you'll need, a hard bristle brush and then a smoothing brush. Both are essential to get a good ponytail and then have a sturdy foundation for the actual bun. What the hard bristle brush does is make sure it grabs like all of the hairs and brushes them well like within before smoothing it out so that it looks clean, it looks professional, both together for peinados. Then you'll need hairspray. I go between hair gel and hairspray, or sometimes I do both depending on the presentation. If it's a competition, I use both because I want to make sure it lasts all day. So that's like 20 plus hours. That's what I mean by all day. And then I take my hairspray too, just to refresh during the day or throughout the day. I really like Aussie, so the Max Hold hairspray. It's the Instant Freeze. This one is nice and sticky. I get it at Target. Pretty sure you can get it at Walmart, CVS, anywhere really. Again, it's sticky. It'll hold, let it dry, smooth it out, or let it get tacky, smooth out your hair. I'll show you in a bit, and then another layer of it. It's my favorite. If you have another one, you just need to make sure it's not like a softer one for like if you're like curling your hair or styling. You just want like a really good hairspray that will not budge at all, that'll like freeze your hair. Okay, the second thing or not the second, the next thing you'll need are U-pins. So U-pins are really important to hold down the chongo really nice, because if you use the regular small bobby pins, those won't really work, won't hold your hair, it'll stick out, fly out, not good. The large bobby pins I would mainly recommend for trenzas, just because they get in between the yarn and then hold on, but those are like the long ones, okay, not the small ones. U-pins for chongos are nice. So this is a U-pin, so it's just like a large U. So I have the medium and then the long one. I wouldn't use the short one, the small one, because that one doesn't really do much unless it's like a smaller updo for thinner hair, okay? I have medium length hair, I guess, so the medium one does fine, but I just feel more comfortable with the long one. I also used to have long hair, so it's just what I'm used to. It's what I already have anyway. And then a liga. You can use a small liga if you are starting to like get the hang of, or trying to get the hang of it. It's not required. I don't really use it because I already know how to do my chongo, but in the beginning, while you're getting used to doing the rope braids, I would recommend this. Or if you're doing the performance competition chongo, I would recommend one of these just to hold both trenzas down. Anything else? Oh, ligas. The type of liga you use or hair tie also matters. If you use the chunky, like soft ones, no. Like you need sturdy ligas. Like these are already dying on me. Like this is too soft. I would go for stronger ones, because the stronger the ponytail is, the better the chongo will stay in place. So you need a strong foundation, and that foundation is the ponytail. So you need strong ligas. These will be thrown out soon, but preferably like thinner ones, okay? Not too thick, because then it'll get hard to put in the U-pins and it'll hurt. So just saying, okay? Everything I have, I get at Target. I like shopping at Target. Pretty sure you can get it at Walmart. Okay. If you have any questions, also ask me in person. So, you wanna first do a middle part, okay? Sometimes it's easier to see or make the middle part with wet hair. Ooh. Okay. Because with dry hair, sometimes you can't see. And once you put the hairspray in, you'll be able to see that it's not even. Okay? So, middle part, I get the side of my hair. Lift it up. And then get the bottom as well, because that's where all the baby hairs are. You don't want to neglect that part. Okay, let me move you guys just a little, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. You don't want to forget about that bottom part. It's also the toughest part. Okay. Now, a lot of people do a ponytail with a middle part in 2 sections. So they usually like grab like 2 triangles and then a ponytail and then add those like 2 sections from the middle part to that ponytail. I just do it all in one go. It takes practice, but then it's just like more convenient time-wise. Okay. Since I don't have hair gel, usually I would put it in before holding, like grabbing it all in a bun. Since I'm using hairspray now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just brush my hair while it's damp. And so what I do is like, I do a scooping motion from the middle part. Okay, my hair does not like to listen, so it can be tricky. But you just keep brushing until it's relatively smooth. Okay, I focus on the top. Also, if you have a cowlick or the girl has a cowlick, I would recommend putting more water there. I usually do that where I have my cowlick. Okay. Something else that really helps is oil. So putting oil at the ends and then oil right here, like this area, really helps smooth it out, because it just slides. Okay, everything just slides. But you have to be careful. You don't want to put too much, because then the hairspray won't hold as well, and it won't create that hard shell that we are looking for. Okay, and I want to make sure I grab the bottom. Okay, now that I have my ponytail middle part, my middle part doesn't go all the way like up or like all the way to my ponytail, but it's fine. The height of the ponytail also depends. So I kind of like doing it in like upper middle, so close enough to where it meets like the top of my head right here. So a little lower, that way the chongo is like parallel that way to my hair, to my head. Okay. If you have bangs and baby hairs, really add it on there. My bangs end here, so I want to make sure I secure them in, and then the top. Okay, I want to go again with my hard brush. Okay, I want to make sure the bottom is pretty smooth as well. I put hairspray on at the end. Okay. Here, I have a widow's peak, so it isn't always completely like down the middle, but I want to smooth out as much as I can. The smoothing brush also helps with the baby hairs because the hard bristle brush doesn't really flatten it. Okay, so you'll be able to see the difference. Okay. Okay. Now that I grab it nice and tight, I put on my ligas. Okay, I go around 4 times because these ligas are already dead. They're already pretty loose. Okay, and then I like a tight ponytail because then I feel like it's on my head. I want to go again with the smoothing brush. Okay. You can push all those little bumps to the back. No one's gonna see it. Okay. And then final layer of hairspray. This time I just smooth it out, flatten it with my hands. This will get sticky. Like I said, this is a sticky hairspray. And you don't want to forget about the bottom. Okay. Once I feel comfortable with the amount of hairspray I put on, this would be close enough to what I do for a performance presentation. I put a lot of hairspray. I love a lot of hairspray. Okay, or a lot of hair gel. So this would be the ponytail, colita. Okay, so see, it's not too low, not too high. I want it sort of in the middle so that when I do my chongo, it's like pretty centered. Okay. Okay. Next part is the chongo. For practice, I do 1 rope braid. Okay. For presentations, for competitions, I do 2 rope braids. Okay. So a rope braid is just a twisted braid. Okay. You section it in 2. This is 1 rope braid. Okay. You section it in 2. And then the way you twist it, you want to make sure it twists in the direction. Because if I go around this way for the rope braid, it's gonna undo. It's gonna look ugly. So I twist and I'm gonna go this way, and then I hold it, and it stays there. Sort of. Okay. Okay. Here is when we can add the liga after doing the rope braid, just to help you focus on pinning everything down, and you don't have to worry too much about redoing the rope braid. I don't usually, or not anymore, put a liga on my rope braid. Okay. Now, I'm gonna pause for a second just to fix the camera. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay, I have my rope braid. This is the chunky part, okay? That is the important thing that you have to pin down. For that is when I use my long U-pins. So I twist it around and I kind of hold it, okay? I don't let it move too much because I don't want it to lift, so I kind of hold it at the bottom, okay? What you want to do with the U-pins is you go straight into your head. So if I let go, it's like standing up from my head, okay? I want to do it straight into the bun, okay? After that, I want to scoop, okay? I want to push like inward, scoop the hair, and now it's gonna go flat against my head. Okay, so first it went into my head, like digging into my head. I scoop, and now it's flat. Okay, so it should be flat, like this way against your head. If you have shorter hair, that's when I start. I'm gonna take off the liga because I'm not used to it. Retwist. Okay, tuck my hair in because I want to get the second part of the chunky part. Okay. So I have the chunky part, I have the ends of my hair. So what I want to do is I want to go into that chunky part, so the initial like twisting of the trenza, the braid, scoop, go outside of the ends of my hair, scoop those, and then lay into my head. Okay, I'm going to do the same for the top. I can start using the medium length, and again I want to scoop the ends of my hair into like underneath the middle part, the first wraparound. If you have longer hair, so hopefully that looks fine. Usually I have a mirror with me so I can double check that it's okay. If you have longer hair, you want to do 2 bobby pins for the chunky part. One there, one here, and then wrap around your hair, tuck it in wherever you can. If you have layers, it will get tricky. That's the bad thing about having layers when you're a dancer, is you have to figure out how to do your hair with it, having that hairstyle, okay? But you keep wrapping around, you tuck it in, and then you dig it into the center wrap around of the trenza, and then you wanna go in, scoop, and push down flat against the head. Okay, so this is my head. I put the bobby pin into the main trenza, go outward, scoop the ends of my hair, tuck in flat against my head. Okay, so that's how it would be. If you want a more secure trenza, you can add more bobby pins. It should feel nice and secure. The way I would test my chongos, my ponytail, and then with the headpiece on, I would like shake my head really hard. You can test it that way. Anything falls out, it was loose, okay? Or the foundation is loose. But this would be my chongo for dance practice. For presentations, I do 2 rope braids. 2 rope braids I would also recommend if you have a lot of hair or if you just have long hair. It flattens against the head a bit easier, a bit better, because if you do 1 rope braid when you have a lot of hair, or it's just thick or it's long, it just kind of like sticks out more than usual. I have thin hair, it's not as long as it used to be, so I just need 1. But it's the same process, just slightly different, okay? 2 rope braids, okay? Section it down the middle. I start with my left side. So an important thing is a cubre trenza, its job is not to hold a bun. Its job is to cover, period, okay? It only covers the chongo. It shouldn't hold it, okay? I know some people use it as like to hold it on the head, but that's not its job, okay? For two rope braids, the lengths that you use for the U-pins as you tuck is reversed as when you use one, or you do one roping. So you want to start with the shorter ones because you're tucking in that first one, and then use the long ones at the end. Or you can just use long ones for everything, okay? So I want to get the chunky part, go straight into my head, scoop, and lay flat, okay? My ligas do stick out, but again, I have a cubre trenza on, so I'm not too worried, okay? I do one there. I sort of retwist sometimes just to get it nice and tight. I do one at the top, okay? Then the second one, I just want to leave down. Sometimes to help, like make sure it's tight against my head, I bite onto it, sorry. But I just want to do it underneath the first part of the chongo. Okay, the ends of my hair, and then I will tuck underneath. Okay. And again, go straight into your head, scoop, and down. This trenza I want to be on the side, not the middle. So I do two beside it. Okay. The hard part about doing your kids' hair is you can't really feel the bobby pins. When you're doing your own hair, you feel the bobby pins and you feel if it's pulling your hair. So try to be very careful. Check up on your kid if you're doing their hair. Make sure it isn't pulling it because it does cause migraines. And then it just kind of itches, and sometimes we just want to stick like a pencil in there and scratch our head, okay? So this is the second trenza. I put a bobby pin here and I put a bobby pin here, just so that my first part of the chongo doesn't lift up, okay? This trenza, I twist the opposite way, okay? So the first trenza, I did this way. This trenza, I'm doing that way. Okay? Because this first trenza, I went over. This one, I'm gonna go the other way. Okay? Because this way, oops. So see how that fell out? I didn't tuck it in properly. Or I need one more right here on this side. Okay, so I want to twist again. Take out this bobby pin that I had over here. Tuck in again. I lost my bobby pin. Stick in there. Okay. I have to retwist this one. Okay. If you forget what direction, you can just test it out to see which way you're supposed to go with the bobby, with the trenza. So if I go this way, that stays in place, okay? So I want to go from where I did the trenza, I want to do another bobby pin there, because it's really important that this part is secured nicely. Okay, wrap it around. I take some out just so I can have space to tuck in. Go from the initial trenza and then stick tuck in the ends of the hair. Okay. I need more obviously for a double rope trenza, just so that everything is smooth. Usually I have my mirror to double check everything looks nicely. They should look like flowers, okay? And I like I like it when they look like nicely like flowers. Okay, these I added extra just so that when I could put the headpieces, the trenzas, or I don't know, I'm gonna do like Sinaloa Costa, and I'm doing like a bunch of turns, or Nayarit even. I just want to make sure nothing flies out. I want to make sure the ends of my hair are like tucked in nicely. Okay, I feel it out, and I should be good. Yeah. So again, this is a bigger flower. This I recommend for long hair, thick hair, or you just have a lot of hair. It helps out a lot. Okay. To show you what not to use, what doesn't help me, is if you use these kind of bobby pins. I just found one. These don't work. These slide out. They pop out. They have no grip, really. I wouldn't recommend these. There's another type of bobby pins, the one that have like the curves to it, and they feel sturdier too for the actual like trenza headpiece. But that is how you do the 1 rope braid and 2 rope braid chongo, as well as the ponytail. If you have any questions, just let me know. This takes practice, lots and lots of practice. I've been dancing almost 10 years now, so in July I've been doing my own chongos since I was 15. So by 15 I had it mastered. Okay, started at 14. Took me a year just to get them down. So it takes years, or a while, not years. It takes a while just to get used to it, just to figure out how to do it for someone else as well, and then knowing what works best for your hair. Okay. If you have any questions, again, just let me know.